In 2013, talented singer-guitarist Casandra Carson, along with her father, guitarist Paul Carson, formed the Springfield, Missouri Hard Rock Quartet Paralandra. With the addition of Sawyer Rikard on bass and Dakota Watson on drums, the band forged ahead, crafting their most polished and ambitious release, Street Magic, released in October of 2021. Their first full-length release has spawned 3 hit singles, Repeat Offender, Despiciple, and The Hard Driving for the record. We sat down with the entire band just days after the release to talk about the new record, touring in 2022, and more. This is a 99 WNRR and Launchpad live interview with Paul Carson, Casandra Carson, Sawyer Rikard, and Dakota Watson from the band Paralandra.
This is Paralandra!
And you are listening to 99 WNRR.
Welcome everyone to another 99 WNRR and Launchpad live interview. I am Artifacts, and it's an absolute pleasure to have these guys back after a few years. Ladies and gentlemen, the hard rocking quartet out of Springfield, Missouri, Paralandra. Hi guys, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Let me see. Last time we talked. Well, I don't know. I dug this out.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, nice.
Circa 2016.
Circa 2016. Yeah, the whole pack, the whole the card and everything else that I got from the package.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
kept that one. There you go.
That is awesome.
That's from the first article we did based on this. So that was the first time we heard you guys.
I remember that. Yeah, you were one of the first ones to actually do a write up. So we were very
what a transition over the years. I mean, I know it's been, what are we talking about now, 5 years. And I'm listening to this record now and I'm going, but you know what? What's interesting? I went back over the EP and the subsequent stuff. And I did where I didn't think I saw a progression. I was just like, wow, this came out of nowhere. But there was a progression from this. And then the next EP, and then this record. You could see there was a subtle progression, a little bit more aggression in the songwriting, in the performance as well. And it seemed to just go up until this record. First of all, congratulations on the record.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely shreds. It's awesome. It's a killer record. But I had to tell you, I had to go back and listen to this. And I'm like, you know what? Let's go back to where it began and listen to the writing, listen to the style, listen to the performance. And what were some of the things that happened, the catalysts that made you guys go from this point to this record, which, like I said before, is completely like, I think the tonalities are still there and some of the flavor, but it's just brought with more brute force. You're not holding anything back on the performance.
Yeah, I think that had everything to do with our producer, Elvis Basquet. I mean, he really allowed us to be ourselves in the studio. And that was like the first time that we've really been able to be true to ourselves. And like you're talking about the live performance, I mean, we're like known as a live band, I feel like, you know? Yeah. So we really captured that live essence that we had been wanting to capture so many times over the years. But we finally did it the way we wanted to do it, I guess.
Right. This is the first album also that we're not sitting down in front of a computer recording it. Sure. So it was really cool. Like, and that's the way things are just done these days.
Yeah.
The guitarist plugs into the computer. The drummer stays home. And the drums are like mapped out, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens now, though. Producers get the demo and they take that drum demo and they fix it and they map it out with these great sounding plugins and whatever. And the drummers don't have to do anything anymore. But Elvis had like 22 mics on you.
A ridiculous amount.
Unbelievable, including like in the drum room and outside the drum room, there's like a spiral staircase and he had mics going up the staircase, to get ambient sounds. And me and Cassandra played our very own amps, the same amps we play live. He's like, he's like, Paul, I love the sound of your amp. Cassandra, I love it. You're going to play that on the entire album. And
that was the first time we got to use our own amps for a recording. Like, how crazy is that?
So yeah,
I guess we did on Love Will Win too, but anyway, that's besides the point.
Do you attribute that to more of the raw sounding power that the album has? The fact that it was recorded in a live setting using natural acoustics and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Why would any band choose to do otherwise? Now that you've gone back
faster,
yeah, that's it. So I mean, in drum talk, knowing how hard it is to get that balance of the room mic and the close mic and everything like that. How long did you guys really take to tweak that? Because I mean, there's a reason why they use all the triggers now. It's because it is just a pain in the ass to get the close and the room mics to work, where you're getting the bulk sound, but not sounding too roomy. But we all know when we get the layers and we start building, when we start building the layers of the song, all that gets sucked down. It's such a balance from a production standpoint.
Yeah. So it helped out a lot that the first couple of days we were there, the drum set was like set up and we did pre-pro for a couple of days. So Jeff, the engineer, was actually in the booth running the board and recording us the entire time. So we had a chance to kind of loosely get mic levels, how they were going to be close to where they were. Because when we record, nobody else is in the room, just to get the most reverb out of the room, all that kind of stuff. So he at least kind of got the actual contact mics somewhat dialed in. And then I think there were additional 6 room mics that they used. And it took about probably 10 or 15 minutes before each song. We would go and hit at varying dynamics each drum, so that as the song goes on, Jeff would actually tune all of the drums to what tone they were at the beginning before I started recording. So it would all be true tuning. Nothing would get detuned. Nothing would get flat, all that kind of stuff. And the room mics, I think they kind of did those on the fly. They just had me play a simple beat, 10 or 15 minutes, and they got those pretty quick. But it was before every song, they were getting it dialed into each song. Yeah. And it would take about 10 to 15 minutes before each.
Yeah. He made the rest of us stay out.
Yeah, we were not allowed in the room.
Of the entire premises. Yeah. We couldn't even stay on the premises while he was recording drums. He wanted no
spectators.
Yeah, nothing. So anyway, it was good. And it's the same drums that Elvis had used for a lot of Alter Bridge songs and Tremonti,
Mammoth,
Seven Dust. I mean, this same kid. So he's kind of familiar with this kid anyway. And
he had it dialed in pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that always helps.
Yeah.
You just bring in one of your kits and just trying to get that same sound. Usually if the guy's got all the dialed in, it's great. I want to talk about, I'm curious, as a vocalist too, there's a point when you sit there and say, yes, in the songwriting process, in the delivery, how many times do you go over certain things and say, you know what, this needs more. This needs, maybe I need to pull back the balance, so to speak. And if you're overdoing it and like I said, the total delivery of it, not just the, tonality of it, but how you're presenting the song. And that's always been one of those things that have been, always a struggle. People don't realize how difficult really that is, to be true to what the song is, instead of just, reaching crescendos all over the place and say, hey, look what I can do, and knowing when to pull back and then when to kick it. Right. How did you, in this record, how many times did you go over pieces and say, you know what, that's not feeling right, I want to punch this or redo that? How many times did that happen for you?
I probably did around 12 takes of each song. So about 12 different versions were recorded vocally. And a lot of them would be the same. I would be going through the same attack, maybe just a little bit different vocal melody. As far as just always wishing I did something different, that never ends. I still listen to it and I'm like, oh, I could have done this instead, right, or this would have been a cool melody. But I think that that's just an artist is never done with his work, sort of thing. So
amen. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. As an artist, you're never satisfied. You're always striving for the next thing.
Yeah.
I want to talk about bass for a little bit. Something I dabble in now.
Yeah.
Now to match up to the sound, obviously, I mean, what you bring to the table as far as, the bottom end and matching it up to what now has been on the drums for the record. First I want to ask, what did you use? Was it GK Hartke? What are you using?
I think it was actually Sansamp in the studio. I used dark glass outside of the studio, but it kind of goes to what Dakota was saying with that's what Elvis had used, and he had that super dialed in, and he had a really good idea of how it wanted to sound, which it sounded great. It got a really nice gritty tone. I was actually introduced to the dark glass whenever we recorded Ascension with Nick Sampson, and I just loved that pedal so much that I had to get that personally. But yeah, I believe it was some kind of Sansamp direct in, and I used my Fender jazz bass to record everything. So
why the switch up from what you play live? Just from tonality, just from a live standpoint?
Honestly, I was just going with what Elvis thought would work the best. So I did bring my dark glass pedal in case he wanted to use that, but I think that it was similar enough in sound that he just wanted to go with what he had used on many, many records and has proven to work good so far. So, why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah, true. In putting your pieces and your style in on the tracks, I'm always a fan of the thumper. When do you know to go, to add a little bit more than just the bottom end? Because it's always a tricky thing, especially in the context of a framework of a song.
It made me really nervous every time I tried to step out of my box of 5 notes. I would always preface with, all right, Elvis, now I do a little something here and I don't even know if it's musically correct, and it might suck, so just put me in my place if you need to. But no, I did a lot of cool little runs on the album, just sprinkled a little bit of stuff here and there, and Elvis really liked it. So I held back on some of the more ridiculous stuff that I might have gotten kicked out of the band for, but
Dude, there's something that he recorded that after we got the tracks, I was like, Sawyer, show me that thing that you did on the pre-chorus here. He's like, dude, I've always done that. Like, what? You got to teach us that run because we want to do it with you and everything.
Paul, if you would put my bass in your monitor, you would know what I was playing.
I can still hear, so that's what I'm trying to retain that. No, Sawyer did some amazing stuff. He's the most understated bass player you'll ever meet because he's like,
that is so true.
He's always saying he's not the musician in the band, and it's so not true.
It's so true.
He plays amazing stuff. Now on stage,
he's not understated live. That's for sure. Nope.
Yeah. Stick to the CD.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's a guy after my own heart live, man. I don't care if I play bass. I'm out there.
Dude, it doesn't matter if he plays bass on stage. People are watching him.
Yeah.
Anyway, we do get a little loosey-goosey when we play live sometimes, but no, my point being,
I mean, like all jumping during Kashmir and Dark Horse.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah. we're lately we're trying to see who can get the most height off of the drum riser. Yeah. And I don't know. We have fun. We have so much fun live, but anyway, yeah, Sawyer, that was what's cool about this recording is we're hearing all these things that he's doing so clearly. And it's like, oh my gosh, you come up with some of the coolest stuff. And anyway.
And they never knew.
I had no idea we had bass players.
How do you, as songwriters, and this is probably the toughest thing, is how do you know when it's done? I mean, we never really know. We like Casandra said, you always feel like you can do something more, but how do you know when it's time to let it go and let it fly?
Is it ever done?
It's never done.
Never done.
It's whatever deadline, the producer has that we need to leave the studio. That's usually whenever it's done.
And we're still going to change it when we get home after we record.
It's true. Yeah. We will write a song and go through multiple versions of it before we play it live. And then once we play it live, we end up going through a few more versions of it, even past that, even before we take it to the studio.
Yeah.
I feel like our songs go through phases or
so many.
I don't know, seasons.
I mean, live, even the All Fall Down songs, they're never played exactly as they are on the album.
Right.
There's always a little bit of spice added in there.
Yeah, there's extra guitar solos that we do from Ascension that weren't recorded, but we still do it live. I would say that's actually kind of a cool thing about listening to our CD versus going to the show. Is you'll hear the songs basically how they're recorded, but we don't play with tracks or anything. It's all just completely from our hands, and there's, like I said, parts that we like to keep in there that weren't recorded, or extensions or song transitions that I think make the live experience a separate experience.
A live experience.
Yeah.
Paul, you and I come from a time that knows what it means to play live without tracks and to go out there and throw it out all on the table and whatever has. And obviously the next generation dealt with a lot of bands, and to the point where we see it now where pretty much everybody's playing to tracks. And I was so glad that I saw that you guys were playing 0 tracks and just letting it all hang out as a 4-piece. We all know that, look, in the 80s, for backing tracks, filling it, we all know that the big bands did it. But coming into the 90s and now, to me, it's made the live experience sterile. Very sterile. Comments on that, and I don't know, what can we do how can this change? Because to me, this is kind of the biggest travesty, because I think people are looking for perfection and they're not understanding what the live experience is. It's that on the edge of your seat. Will they hit the note? Will he nail the guitar solo? Will they get the part right? That's part of that push and pull when you go to a live experience. It's not just to see it in perfection, it's to see it for everything that it's worth, including mistakes. And we've all seen mistakes live that sometimes who cares? It was great. The energy was there. And when you play to a click track or backing track, that we see that the shows are pre-programmed and stale. Thoughts?
We honestly get that a lot when we've done festivals and shows of that nature. They're always like, okay, so your tracks, you guys have those for us? And we're like, oh yeah, we don't use tracks. And they have to get clarification.
They're like, wait, what? Tracks?
Where's your iPad?
It's like, no, but we do need some vocal mics.
If you have any extras, by chance.
It's crazy. Honestly, my personal feeling, live music is split into 2 genres, which is karaoke band and live band. So for me, it feels like there are a lot of bands out there that are karaoke banding, and it could be because it's cheaper. You don't have to hire great musicians, you don't have to hire background singers. You don't have to have band members that can sing. You don't have to rehearse as much. It's so much easier. And I've actually played, as a hired gun in a band that ran tracks, and I felt dirty, But and I understand why a cover band might do that. They're just playing at the local bar and they're trying to earn their money, and hey, they only need 3 members and have all these tracks, and the customers don't understand that what they're hearing is not live, and so whatever.
It's still infuriating even when you're going to see a cover band.
Oh, it's infuriating.
It is, as a musician.
It's just the dumbing down of music, honestly.
It is, It's really sad. Despicable even.
So with that in mind, guys, how does one separate themselves and to say, without causing a lot of, bad publicity because you're calling people out? How does one go out there and say, hey, we are a live band? Because
I say it from the mic all the time.
People will sit there and say, we'll go. Like you said, Paul, they don't know, they don't care. They're hearing one band that sounds great with tracks. They're hearing another band that's live, and they're not catching the energy because they're not paying attention. And that's
right.
That's the problem with the record buying public. Oh, did I say record buying? When people used to buy records, we come from that. People used to go and shop and buy records.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's I'm glad you guys commented on that, because it's true. But you do make that comment a lot, Casandra, right? And you said
yeah, all the time. Like, especially after I screw up, I'll make that comment.
Yeah.
I'll be like, by the way, just so you guys know, it sounds terrible because the music's actually coming from
because we are terrible.
No, but then I'm like, well, but if it sounds good, then hey, we're still doing it. It's live. And I think, like what you were saying, people just don't even know a lot of the time. And I like to point it out because I feel like it's an important thing. Like, I think that live music should be live music. So yeah.
But you're right, Michael. It's like it's a difficult thing to address because the general public does not know. They don't know the difference. And you're right. They'll go to hear one band. It's like, oh my gosh, they sounded so huge. It sounded this huge wall of guitars and the vocals were amazing. They don't know. They think the band is doing that. And then they'll go hear another band who's working 3-5 times as hard, and they don't quite sound that good, but they're actually doing it. They're actually doing the work.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, how do you convince the public to care about that? I don't know.
I would say for me, it's like a pride thing, really. It's not even so much that the fans know, but that we know.
That's true.
A personal standard.
Yeah. That's true. And it's a coat of armor. It's a suit of armor. And it's still it's the old rock and roll adage. It's in your face. And that's where we're going to bring it, is in your face. I haven't played. I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't play for years, and some guys just called me up and said, I don't know if you're doing anything, but do you wanna? And I said, under one condition, you're completely live, and I don't care how small or whatever the club is. It was a cover situation, and I said, but let's just go destroy the place. I don't care what it is. Yeah. Like, I don't care if I'm playing Guns or whatever, or It's So Easy. In your face. I don't care if the bass gets launched, I just completely and look the part, dress the part, and bring rock and roll, Motorhead-esque right in your face. You notice the difference. And very subtly, you started to see a difference between people saying, okay, maybe didn't like them so much, but man, that was a different experience because it was energy and live. And there is that difference. And you guys are, holding that flag up, and thank God, because there's a few of us left, and there's some of us that still have to carry that flag. I got to tell you.
It's true. I think what Sawyer said sums it up. It's kind of a personal, just badge of honor. And we can, if we screw up, we own it and we work on it. We try to perfect that. And if we don't, it feels so good. I mean, if we just nail these vocals and nail these parts and it just sounds amazing, then people tell us, oh my gosh, that was the best live concert I've ever seen, then we can own that, versus, we re-recorded that, we pre-recorded that like 6 months ago. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. And people accuse us of using tracks all the time.
Kind of feels good.
Which actually is like the biggest compliment you could get, because people are like, there's no way they're doing this for real.
I mean, they said the same thing about the Eagles, so we're in pretty good company.
Right.
And it's like when they say, who writes your guys' songs?
Yeah, we're like, I do. Yeah, okay, you write it, but who writes the lyrics? Right. Like, I do. What's the question?
Wow.
But it's like, you know, backhanded compliment or whatever. But yeah, we worked so hard.
Yeah, like I hear you, Casandra, like it's a compliment, but then you're like, wait a minute. Did he just insult us? It's just like, we can't write our own. Yeah, I heard that. So you don't know how to take that sometimes.
People get used to, to fake nowadays. There's 7 writers on every song of every album, and maybe that's the deal. I don't know. But that was nice about recording this with Elvis was he just took our songs as they were. We were honestly shocked. Yeah,
like there was very minimal rewriting. Like maybe we would change a section kind of to a song, but all the songs really stayed true to what they were going in. So that was actually pretty amazing.
I expected him to like, all right, we're gonna have to fix this and
new chorus, new verse, you know.
You're gonna have to write a pre-chorus or a bridge for this or whatever. And anyway,
how long was the writing process or pre-production before you went in?
About a week or a few days.
It was 2 days.
2 days.
It was 2 days.
2 days of pre-production before we started recording. Then we were in the studio for a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
the process of writing took about how long? How long were these songs in the works?
Oh my God.
6 months at least. 8 years.
8 years. Yeah. The song Weightless was written by me and my dad back in like 2013. Yeah. So that one was a surprise that he wanted that one on the album because it's such an old song to us. But we never really got the opportunity to record it the way we wanted to. So like it was actually pretty cool that one made it on there.
Some of those songs on the album are like 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old. And then one of the songs we wrote just before we left to go to the studio.
Repeat?
Only Human and Walk Away.
Yeah.
Get out of here, really? Because aside from For the Record, those are my 2 favorite songs on the record.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Walk Away?
Walk Away and Only Human.
Yes. Oh, Walk Away is the best.
Yes.
It's the best. It's so
See, I like those cuts. And sometimes, you know, is it true? I mean, it's true for me. I've seen it over the years, but is it true for you guys that, you know, sometimes the best ideas do just come like that and you just roll with it and don't stop, let the steamroller go and just, you know, make the snowball get bigger, you know?
Yeah. Only Human was definitely that's like one of the fastest I've ever written a song. Like it came like that.
And like even band practice, I think it was like 2 weeks. Yeah, I was gonna say less than that, but
I feel like we knocked it out maybe in 2 practices.
Right.
We kind of like
we had to figure out your drum part in the bridge section, and that was like a practice. And then I feel like the next practice we like did the whole thing.
It didn't really change much after the first week of rehearsing.
And like, so is it done?
I think it's done.
We should be working on this for another 6 months, right?
It shouldn't be this easy. Something's wrong.
Did I plagiarize this? Is it somebody else's song?
Yeah, you know what? Isn't that true, Paul? Because you sit there and think, oh my God, did this come to me so fast because this is actually something I hear in my head or something that I heard, right? And you're running a check and you're like, I'm listening to 1,000 songs going, no, this has got to be somebody else's deal here. Right. And you're starting to worry. You're starting to freak out a little bit. Have you ever had that problem too, where you wrote something, you swore to God it was the best thing since sliced bread, and all of a sudden 1, 2 things happen. Either you're going, shit, it's somebody else's track, or you're going, man, that didn't sound as good as I thought it was going to sound.
Both.
Okay, our song Pretty Little Liar off Ascension, like that riff. I originally, you accidentally wrote that riff, but it was Groove Machine, King's X. We're like, so very similar. And we were like, oh, geez, this is way too cool. And then we figured it out.
And this is the best riff we ever wrote because we didn't write it.
I don't like usually talking about videos, but For the Record was a lot of fun. It looked like it was a lot of fun making it. And what a cool, you know, and I think we've seen the statement before, but I like the twist on the statement. the old the judges in front. Now you could take it, the X Factor or the Voice. Was that openly a smack of saying, by the way, the whole losing your shirt and
I was told to freak out. I was like, I can take.
It's like, how does he freak out? Was that a freak out? Was that the best freak out?
Was a freak out.
Usually I don't freak out like that, but
that was a surprise to us all.
Like one take.
Yeah, we were all shocked on that one.
Yeah, it had to be one take. I ripped my shirt.
Yeah. No, it truly was. That the whole idea was definitely a little bit of a slap in the whole. The song came from Casandra being told by potential record labels very early on, like, well, here's what you need to do. First, you need to drop about 20 pounds, and then you need to sing like this, and you really need to get a look dialed in, and you need to look like this, and all this stuff. And
not only that, but like, it's not cool that your dad's in the band. Like, it was a whole thing where we were considering maybe needing to get a new guitar player. Like, they were just picking us apart. And I was like, these are all so dumb reasons. Like, the whole reason we're in this band is because of music. So you guys aren't even talking about our songs, which is the whole point of this. Mm-hmm. So what even?
Yeah.
Like,
there was a video that she posted like after one particularly bad incident. And I don't know if it was a Facebook Live, it might have been, but she was like literally in tears. And she's just like, I don't know what I should be doing. I don't know. We've just gotten some bad news, and and it was really sad. It was hard for me to watch. But
I don't think I ever posted that. I thought about it.
Really? Okay, yeah. Maybe not.
I definitely showed you.
But at that moment, she turned that around and she found a way to find strength from that. And she wrote for the record, which is, you know what? I'm just going to be me, and our band is going to be our band, like it or hate it. But, all the people that come to our show seem to like it. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to lean into it. And that was what made her write for the record. And so that's kind of what the video is about. It's like industry types saying, this is the way you need to sing. This is the way you need to
be a pop artist, be more heavy. You need more black clothes. Or
somebody literally said one time that Paul should be the lead singer.
Yeah. Literally. Yes.
Not that that's funny.
Yeah, no, not that that's funny.
We were just talking about how much we love Walk Away, so it's not a bad idea.
But we're like, what are you talking about, dude?
That person was like, I just think you all would sell a lot better with Paul singing.
Male lead singers sell a lot better than female.
And then about 5 minutes later, we said something about Hailstorm. We were like, you're familiar with Hailstorm, right? And that person was like, oh no, never heard of them. So,
ever heard of In This Moment? No. Pretty Reckless? No.
They've been leading the charts for 10, 15 years, and you've never heard of them, and you're going to give us advice on how to sell better?
And the sad part was this guy had credentials. He could have been reputable,
Yeah.
But he was just
very out of touch.
Yeah, we'll just move on from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole song, Cassandra, it really is. And the reason why I brought up the power and everything, it is like one huge big middle finger, and that's what I love about it. Yeah, you put yourself out there, and it was you could just stand right up there and just without doing the gesture,
even without having to do that exactly.
Yeah, being
myself is the middle finger.
The whole delivery,
I am the middle finger as a human.
Just the whole, like I said, the whole delivery is what got me. Forget it. The everything else about the video was fun and everything like that, but there was something behind it, and that's why I brought it up, because you could tell that there was. I want to say something here. I do want to know where that I love. The part of that song I love is the breakdown when you're going. Yeah. Where did you guys get the idea to throw it? Like, hey. It'd be a great place to throw this in here. How did that come about? Because to me, it's like every song has that, that one moment or a hook or something like, wow, that takes you out of left field. And you go, hey, it kind of defines that song a little bit on the breakdown.
Oh, you're talking about the chorus?
Yeah, the chorus part. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was me. Thank you.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I was just like, oh, that is it was like such a twist. I wasn't expecting it. I was just like, whoa, yeah.
Oh.
I actually, after we got the mix back, I asked Elvis, I was like, because, he's one like, hey, what do you guys think? Tell me what you want to tweak. And I was like, yeah, that part, maybe we should pull that out or pull it way back. I just don't know that. And he was like, I'm going to have to differ with you there, Paul. He's like, I think that's really cool. And I want to keep it just like it is. And I was like, okay, you're Elvis.
It's a great idea, but you're wrong.
But
actually, when we originally wrote it, the choruses were a lot more empty, and that little didn't happen until the very last chorus. And the first two, it was just da-dum, silence, da-dum, silence. We thought it was like heavier that way. But Sawyer still likes it the old way.
What did you overlay anything along with the guitars? What else did you add to it to give it that shrill?
No, all I did was that was one note at a time. And I believe it was 5 notes. So first I just recorded the F, and then I recorded the A, and then I recorded the C. Anyway, so yeah, that's all I was doing. And Elvis called me old glass finger.
He did! It's
old
true!
glass. He's like, how are you making that sound like a slide?
Oh, that's true. His mind was blown.
Yeah.
He was like, how are you creating this sound with your finger?
Old glass finger Carson.
Glass finger.
That's all it is. Yeah, they're just overdubs played on a Les Paul, just going so
yeah, that's what was wild. It was one of the points of that song where I was like, that's different. That's cool. that hook got me.
Dude, thank you. I'm really relieved to hear you say that.
Nice.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
What are you gonna do?
What's next? I mean, we had the release concert, which was phenomenal. The album's incredible.
Yeah, we don't actually know what's
We're waiting to find out what's next.
We are currently waiting to find out what's next. Hopefully we'll find out tonight.
Yes.
But we have lots of touring plans in the future.
Tonight? What's tonight?
Tonight
we don't know.
We're supposed to hear back about some
plans.
We have
potential plans.
We have a really cool thing, opportunity that we're very excited to announce if the T's are dotted and the I's are crossed. So,
exactly.
So that's why I went to check my phone. We're supposed to be getting confirmation like tonight, but outside of that, we've got a lot of shows booked up. We're working on a lot of stuff and hoping to record a follow-up to release in 2023. And we've got so many songs like in the
till. I mean, we went in to record Street Magic with like 16 or 17 songs, knowing that we were going to do 8. So, I mean, we've still got all those other songs that we didn't record. Plus, like, I know that I have a ton of songs that are unfinished that are just sitting in my phone that you guys don't even know yet. And I know that same for you. So there's a lot coming up.
How do you do it? Do you mouth it? Do you go F
Voice
to G, F? Yeah, exactly. Are you just summon the melody and then say it, okay, F sharp to G to blah, 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 all the way down there? And really? And then do you even do the beat?
Normally I come up with my lyrics and my melody at the same time. So I'll sing that and then I'll write the lyrics down in my notes and then I'll drag over the voice memo into my notes, like with the lyrics. So
I've actually done voice memos of rhythms before. It's super awkward.
Like beatboxing?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Kind of beatboxing.
The little drum around thing right before the last chorus in Only Human. I sang that into my phone at a gas station on the way to a show.
What did it sound like?
Bad. I might still have it. I don't know.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. It was literally that. It was that, but hitting my foot against Paul's suitcase so you could hear the metronome.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, man. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. There've been plenty of times where you need a beat and you hear something cool. You're like,
I just wish.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that all the cooler ideas would have happened before the album was done, because I keep thinking of stuff every time I listen to the songs.
He just can't do it too loud, so we won't make fun of him.
I can't do it. I'm scared to make a sound in this band. I'll rip apart.
Can you imagine, you think about this before all of this, how many songs that were thought of and that probably got lost?
Dude, that's an amazing thought. I've never even contemplated that, but you're right.
Even just you with your old phone.
True.
And you're just one person.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've got like 60 some odd guitar things on my phone where I've recorded this whole deal. And it's like, there's no way I would be remembering all that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So that is an amazing thought.
It's been, wow, 50 minutes. I've had a great time. Thank you guys.
Oh, wow.
Great, us too.
It's been a very, very cool conversation. That's why I don't send questions, because I like just having conversation, whatever topic comes up. You know, very, very. It was like we did the last time. We just had a conversation, and usually some of the great stories and thoughts come out that way.
Thank you.
And dude, seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your support for so many years. You are like one of the only ones that have stuck with us and just believed in us, supported us in a very real way. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully we'll be back up to see you soon.
Yeah, just like I said, just get your butts over here to Jersey so I can go see you.
We are working on it.
All right, guys.
Hopefully soon.
Take care. God bless. God bless. Take care, man.
You too.